Hey there, YouTube. This is Mr. Budget coming with a deck profile. I promised deck profiles, and I'm here to deliver. Haven't been holding myself accountable for the things that I've been promising, and I apologize for that. But here's me trying to take a good step forward. So, out of the latest set that came out, set 9, and on top of the booster packs that we got from doing locals, I'm here to present an updated version of Granfia before we get the new version of Granfia, and then I try to tackle that nonsense. So, as always, since this deck is just a brief update, we're going to run through it, some of my reasons for playing what I'm playing, and we're going to go from there. As always, we're playing the normal ride line for Granfia, going all the way from grade 0 to grade 1. If you guys have watched my videos before, you know what this ride line is capable of, what it does, and how you benefit off of it. We're going to jump right into the grade 3s and grade 2s. There are not a lot of those either. We're always playing 3 additional copies of Granfia in the main deck. Persona riding is beneficial to this deck. Again, not so much because of the numbers in this deck, because of how I'm building the deck, but because Persona riding does add +1 to your soul. This deck is notorious for eating up its soul. So until we get other ways to soul charge, Persona riding is going to be one of the best things. Speaking of eating your soul, we're playing 3 copies of Benevolent Maiden Authoress. Authoress has the ability to Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1. Mill the top 3 cards of your deck. Choose up one card from your drop zone, grade equal to or less than your Vanguard, and call it. If you do choose a copy of your Vanguard, you get to add it to your hand and she'll receive plus 5,000 power. But neither here nor there, you're normally going to call a grade 2 or less card. Most likely a grade 1 or less card. This eats up soul. On top of that, we're playing 4 copies of the grade 2, which is Spring Maiden Elena. Elena has the ability Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1 when played from the hand. Mind you, both of them must be played from the hand. Choose any grade 2 or less card, call it to rear guard, and give it plus 5,000. So this digs. Unfortunately, this does not dig, but they both have the exact same skill. This is how you are going to be recurring your units from your drop zone and getting that. I was originally playing just the 3 grade 3s, but come to find out that you need more targets than that to start to keep the ball rolling. My apologies. So 7 targets in total. That's all the grade 3s and grade 2s. So now you're probably wondering, why so little? Because we stacked this thing full of grade 1s. Of course, we're playing 4 copies of Azarian Fairy. Now, if you're unfortunate can't afford the triple rare value, if you have a friend or someone or yourself who got the deck set for forgot her name, Leonor, it comes in common. So a good friend of mine, friend of the channel, gave me her play set for little to nothing. So playing 4 copies of Azarian Fairy, which has the ability that when it attacks, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3, you can choose one of your rear guards. It gains all the power that unit currently owns until the end of the battle. So because we were playing the Granfia build, not the Leonor build, you're constantly going to target the Rosarian token, which is normally on a normal turn over 50k, making this a 58k beater or higher. Of course, you're playing the tried and true 4 copies of Burrow Mushrooms. Because this is a Granfia deck, we do get the +1 ability of giving a unit plus 5,000 power when our Granfia is at grade 3. We are playing 4 Perfect Guards. You may change one of these over to the Blitz Order Perfect Guard of your choice. Again, this is just a fun side deck for me, so that's why I don't care. That's why I don't put that card in here. But if I were playing this competitively, I would definitely change one of these out for the Blitz Order. Now, the star of the show, we are playing 3 copies. I would like to play 4, but I only own 3 right now, of the Shara Kabaru. If I pronounced that wrong, let me know how it's pronounced in the comments down below. This card single-handedly changed how I play this deck, and the compatibility of this deck. So for those who don't know, rear guard or drop zone, I found that out recently. I had to remember, guys, read your cards. You can Soul Blast 1 card. Choose one of your Noblest Rose tokens and perform. If you have a Noblest Rose token, perform one of the following abilities down below. You can put this into the gauge as a token. And for the rest of the game, as long as that card is in your gauge, that Noblest Rose cannot be chosen or retired by your opponent's card effects. Or, if you have not already put a copy of this to the bottom of your deck, you may do the other skill it has, which is put it to the bottom deck. Take the top 3 cards of your deck and put them as gauges. So this is another way for you to get gauges. Again, you do run into the risk of gauging 3 triggers. It's the name of the game of random soul charging, but this allows you to get higher numbers. The main benefit of this is to protect your Rose token from being retired, because once that is gone, all that work that you did to build it up, building it up goes to waste. Next, we're playing 3 copies of Theory of Candor. This is our draw. During your battle phase, if you have Granfia Vanguard, you may counterblast. You may create a plan token. Then, sorry, that's my phone, guys. Then, if your Vanguard is at grade 3, you may counterblast 1 and draw 1 card. All right, so that is all of the token support or Granfia support for grade 1s. Now we're going to come into a little bit of a tech engine here. I'm playing 3 copies of Swell Assault, who has the ability during the 3rd battle, while he's boosted, the unit that's attacking a grade 3 Vanguard hits, you may retire this and countercharge 1. We do use a lot of counterblasts for 3 cards, so you're going to need to be able to recur that instantly. Having this unit behind a Rosarian Fairy kind of guarantees that on hit, especially when you're hitting over 60k power. It kind of guarantees that. So remember, you always want to put this card in the same column as the Rosarian Fairy if you have it. Next, we're playing 3 copies of Mythiarch Habitat. This is our only way to search things out of our deck. Yes, it's a dig 7. I would rather have some type of way of searching exactly what I want, especially getting Rosarian Fairies out. But this is as best as that we have. This is not the current build that I dreamed of. Again, I'm missing some pieces here and there, some orders and stuff like that. But for right now, for just a starting block, I find it's very consistent as much as possible. You do run in the risk of not having enough cards in hand to guard or not being able to get to your Rosarian Fairies in time. But once you do, if you're able to get that ball rolling preemptively, this becomes a very hard deck to stop. Your opponent's going to try to get rid of your Rosarian Fairies by having things like Eleanor and Athena to get them out of your drop zone. I would also like to play Soul Concentration. So what's the name? You guys know what the card is. I would also have to play things like that to get them out of my drop zone, but I don't have that card yet. But things like that to refresh your Rosarian Fairies from the drop zone does help a lot. Getting them out of the deck is the main issue. We don't mill that much, but that's neither here nor there. So that is the main deck. So next we're going to just talk about the triggers real quick. I'm playing this over trigger and not Blessed Favor. Now you may be wondering why Blessed Favor is a Omni trigger, gives everything. The point of this card is if you hit it on your turn, on your offensive turn, and you give all of this card's abilities to your token in the back row, and you have 2 Rosarian Fairies in the front row, that means your entire front row is hitting for 200 million plus. That alone is damn near impossible to guard. Almost, but damn near impossible to guard. So hitting this, giving 100 million power to the token, and using the effect to give another 100 million power to the token, now makes this as a 200 million token, which Rosarian Fairy and Granfia are going to benefit from the token, boosting Granfia, this copying it, and this copying it. Not to mention, you're going to be attacking with this first. So this is already going to hit for like over 60k. Then going to restand. While this is already standing, you get the point. But hitting this makes this very scary. So we're definitely playing this as the over trigger. We're running 7 crit, 4 heal, 4 draw. You need to get your pieces. I would rather run more draws, but we don't have draws are only 5k shields, so you need as much guard value in here. Fronts really don't help you that much because your front line is just going to get boosted off the Rosarian token alone, so you don't need front triggers. Criticals are just a way to end the game as fast as possible. So this is the line. This is the trigger lineup that I'm going with. All right, and that is the deck. And of course, as always, as many tokens as you possibly can muster. You guys already know what the Noblest Rose token already does. So as many tokens as you can. Right now, I have 16 in here, but I've literally gotten to over 16k gauges in it. Just to be aware. So again, this video isn't long. We're not going to talk too long. If you guys want to see this deck in action, I will be posting sometime next week after, well, the week after our regionals, which is coming up this weekend. After this weekend, I will be doing a vlog video on that and everything like that. So look forward to that. But if you guys want to see this deck in action, look forward to it because it will be coming up soon. I've been Mitchell the Budget saying we'll see you guys here later. Keep it fun, keep it friendly, and always keep it budget. And we'll see you guys here next time. Peace.